In this world, during our life on earth, what do we have for our greatest consolation, comfort, and reason for joy? Because each of us knows, and this season is such a reminder. So often, whether it's early or in the evening, just take a few steps outside. And in this world, on this earth, inevitably, we face darkness. We face the cold. I like to say life is not always lilies and pillows. Live just a little bit into life and you learn this. There are cold and dark valleys in all of our lives. And each of us, we know this personally, intimately, and how we face different struggles. It's there, in those places, in those situations of struggle. The question is, what is my consolation? What is my comfort? What is the source of my joy? It's truly amazing and supernatural, really supernatural, I'd say, the places through the ages that Christians have found themselves, very difficult situations, yet all the while able to live with joy, to even in the midst of struggle, to cry out with joy and gladness. Take, for instance, St. Paul. He's the one writing this, our second reading to the Philippians. And in this letter, he writes, "Brothers and sisters, rejoice in the Lord always. I shall say it again, rejoice." It's so important to understand the context. St. Paul, it's not like he's in a 5-star resort when he's writing this. He's actually under arrest. He's in jail. He's in a cold, dark cell alone. And it's there that he writes, "Brothers and sisters, rejoice in the Lord always. I shall say it again, rejoice." Could look back, each of us, into our lives, maybe even our circumstance currently, and ask, what sort of cold, dark cell do I find myself? Do I feel like I'm trapped in? Or in fact, am trapped in? Being there as a Christian, is there actually a way, a reason for me to have consolation, to know comfort, to know joy? It's this context St. Paul is encouraging us. Rejoice in the Lord always. I say it again, rejoice. How? Why? Because the Lord is near. That's what changes everything. To remember, to actually recognize that the Lord is near. This third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday, Rejoice Sunday, as we mentioned, it's that reminder. This, the rose vestment, it catches all of our attention. This time of Advent is to catch our attention, to remind us, to stir us to remember. No matter what circumstance we find ourselves, no matter how dark or cold, that the Lord is near. He's with us. I love the Psalms. how often they express this truth that we are able to find joy when we know the Lord is near. Our responsorial psalm today, so beautiful. Cry out with joy and gladness, for among you is the Lord, the great and Holy One of Israel. There's another psalm, one of my favorite verses. To be near God is my happiness. That's the source of our joy and happiness. To know that we're near God and He's near us. And finally, of course, Psalm 23, so well familiar with us, and that wonderful verse where the psalmist writes, even though I walk in a dark valley, I fear no evil, for you are there at my side with your rod and staff to give me courage. Here in the midst of Advent, in the midst of whatever circumstance we find ourselves, and in particular, if it's difficult, we're able to recall the Lord is indeed near. And so let us rejoice in that and be glad.